And drum roll, please. Patch notes.
Well, all right. Yes, let's go. Ding ding, ring the fucking bell. Let's get in the ring, Bill. Come on, buddy. Me and you versus
I'm so tired.
this asshole. All right, best ongoing awarded to a game for outstanding. Who? I sound like a fucking owl.
Scruffy agrees with me,
Bro, Scruffy. Okay,
yeah.
you okay? Best ongoing game awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that involves the player experience over time.
that evolves.
Okay, Pops, evolves the player experience over time. So Cyberpunk 2077 won this category. It's a load of dog shit.
That entire description describes exactly what the DLC and the free updates did for Cyberpunk 2077. They were an outstanding development. People said that it was a great content, like the free content updates that they gave and the DLC were both touted as some of the best DLC or some of the best releases for Cyberpunk, right?
How do you
Ongoing content that evolves the player's experience over time. It literally did.
So then any
that.
game with DLC, then it is considered
I'm not
considered
just
an
talking
ongoing
about
game.
the DLC. I'm also talking about the free content updates.
The free content updates
were
to fix the fucking disaster of a dumpster fire game that they launched.
Evolving the player's
That's not
experience.
That's not evolving. That's not evolving. That is fixing.
I mean,
Isn't
evolving,
to
fixing.
evolve?
Do what?
Isn't to evolve just to isn't to fix just evolve?
They took their player bases.
So then in this category, in this case,
and
we should
changed it over time.
Then in this case, if I'm a developer, I'm going to release every single one of my games as hot fucking garbage, and then I'm just going to fix the game and drop a DLC.
That's pretty accurate.
So that I can get awarded a category. Because to me personally, for them to have beaten out even just the people in this category solely of Final Fantasy 14, of Fortnite, of Genshin Impact, and Apex Legends. Apex Legends being the weaker of all of them.
Let's again. I tried to dig into this a little bit with you guys when I was talking to you on my live stream.
Sorry, I was taking a Cyberpunk.
Let's dig into the rest of these. Right, Final Fantasy 14 released an expansion, which you've already stated is not content that you should be rewarding. Right.
We're saying that you shouldn't be rewarding somebody fixing a game and labeling it as a pivotal update.
Fortnite released content that they stole from other projects and other games, so we should be rewarding them for stealing ideas from other games. I guess WoW should be in here then. In that case, then, right? Genshin Impact itself again released a DLC. Apex Legends released patches that did what they did minor patches in a couple of what's it called
they did in-game events and stuff like that.
In-game events and what's the word I'm looking for? Like where they cooperate with other I'm blanking on it.
Crossovers?
But they did crossovers with other people. So okay.
So just so you know, first off, Genshin Impact released 5 characters, 2 content updates, a DLC, and minor patches throughout 2023. So you're not right there, right? That did not happen. I'm legitimately looking at Genshin Impact website.
They released the DLC, so
they released
that doesn't count.
5 characters, 2. No one said DLC.
That's what
DLC does not count.
You told me.
No, I'm saying
fixing your game in post should not be rewarded for a Game of the Year award.
This isn't a Game of the Year. This is a nomination for a category of best ongoing.
At the Game of the Year, just come on now. Don't be that way. You know what we're getting at.
I will see Final Fantasy 14 and saying like that they released an expansion, but they also released raids. I think that
they released raid and then
raid
dungeons.
Okay, sure. So
don't try and argue with me. I will see
Final Fantasy 14 to you, but I don't think that to sit here and say that a game that comes out completely and you argued No Man's Sky, like during your show you talked about No Man's Sky shouldn't be on there. 1, it's not on this list. 2, I don't agree that No Man's Sky shouldn't have won if they did the year after or whatever they fix their shit, because that's not that's not an ongoing. That is you fixing the fucked up development and doing right by your consumers, right? Like doing right by your consumers and fixing the fucking game.
It's ongoing content, which is the entire idea behind the fucking category.
That's not
because,
ongoing content.
Because it's them. Just because they fixed some things, they still did other stuff other than fixing their fuck-ups.
By your standards,
still added in free content. They still added in the DLC itself, which was ongoing content.
That by your standards, that means that the as a whole, if I take this outside of video games and talk about a home builder, that somebody should go, I could build somebody half a fucking house, and then in the same year, as long as and then I give it to them, and in the same year, I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me actually put a roof and fucking 4 walls on it, and then I'm gonna win best home develop or best home whatever builder for 2023 because that's what I did. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna give you an added bonus room, and I'm gonna give you an attic because that was the content that you should have gotten. Like, no, fuck that, dude. Like, they launched a dumpster fire of a game, they fixed it, and then they launched a DLC for the game. But what do you mean for free?
For free.
No, it wasn't for free. It was at the fucking the cost of the players.
Patch was free.
The content patches were all
Fuck
free.
off, dude. This is there's no shot.
The free update, the free update to
the
$60-$70 game was completely free. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't have been. I never once said that it shouldn't have been, but it is ongoing content.
That's not that's
in between them fixing all of the content that was not in the game. They also added in new content.
Practices, though. Like that's the biggest thing I have an issue with.
I never said that it was
category.
I never said that it wasn't shitty development. I'm just stating that it is ongoing content. There was ongoing content other than the fixes that they did to change the fucking game.
Go ahead, Bill, because I got a point to add to this as well.
I don't like bad development practices being rewarded, and while the Edge Runners update was good, I don't see this as them rewarding them for fixing their game. I see this as them rewarding them for the free content updates that they added to everybody. Not only that, on top of that, the upgrades that they did for PlayStation 5 and I think the free
Xbox
update
were both free.
It's all free because it should have been there at launch.
Like
they would have been
the free upgrade
if
the free upgrade to the newest versions, like the PS5, should have been there at launch.
It was
what are you?
Yes,
the PS5 upgrade?
The next gen upgrade should have been
because Last of Us is the only one that's charging for a next gen upgrade. Every other game that's done a next gen upgrade has been free.
And on top of that, to answer your question, yes, because the game was so bad that PlayStation pulled it. Like so yes. It should have been in the game at launch. Like you can't, like in this in your methodology also, then that means that Call of Duty should be in here every fucking time.
Diablo 4 is going to win this award next year.
Yeah. So like I'm not arguing. To say that you have a shitty game, you make it better, and really the only content that was given that could classify as not being fixing their shit was the very, 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 very last piece of content that we got right before the
Edge Runners update too.
The gigantic fucking update right before the DLC came out that was free as well. Yeah,
that's 100%. That's not again.
That completely changed the game and how it played.
I guarantee.
But it was the way the game was originally.
The way that the game, the complete release,
and they still never added the multiplayer. It's still false
that
promises.
Was gone.
Fellas, I don't think
you thought that the multiplayer was going to be there to begin with, that was on you.
They said it was,
and that it was going to be regardless.
Well,
yeah, but they promised it. They said it.
Do you guys want to know what my vote is?
You're not telling me anything that I'm not agreeing with.
No,
yeah, it was a shitty practice. It was a shitty practice for them to bring out something and in a fucking broken state, right? 100%. It was a shitty practice. But I do believe that yes, they do deserve a reward for the content that they brought out later on this year. The free content update that changed the entire game, how the game played, the DLC, regardless if you like the fact that it's a DLC or not, it's still ongoing fucking content.
I don't care about the fact that it's a DLC personally. Like,
well, I don't know why you're arguing with me on that.
He's not arguing that point. I'm arguing that point.
The updates don't count on that regard.
Then the DLC. The DLC is ongoing content.
But it's not that, like, it's on in all of these games.
If you're going to say that, then we can no longer put anything that does DLC. So again, Final Fantasy would be out of there completely. Fortnite technically would be out of there because don't they call their seasons like DLCs or whatever the fuck it's called?
Because that is it. If Cyberpunk would have given
Genshin Impact would be out of there because DLC is gone.
That's not you see I don't include DLC because one, here's two issues with it. And we have had this argument before on the last one. There is no you sat and said that the DLC is considered a game. Well, you can either consider it a DLC, which is content for the existing game, or a game itself. Because considering that it shouldn't, that saying that it should be in a category,
I considered it that was a game because of how large it was.
But you don't get to do that. You don't get to say it's a game and then also get to say it's content.
I want to. It's
you can. I mean, you want to go jump out of a bridge, you can go jump off a bridge.
I can do whatever the fuck
but
I
also
want to.
too,
You made up four different categories.
I still think that on this thing alone, you can say Final Fantasy, take the expansion out of it, and you still got a raid, you still got updates, you still got.
No, you don't. Because if you don't have the DLC, you don't have anything.
Yes, you do. It's a live service game. It's an MMO.
If you don't have the DLC, they stop development of anything after the DLC.
If the DLC didn't come out this year and it was coming out next year, you're gonna tell me that Final Fantasy 14 would have not had any content this year?
Yes.
No.
There's huge issues with Final Fantasy 14 having content droughts every fucking year.
I'm not saying that there's not droughts. I'm just saying there is still content.
No, there's not. That's why it's a content drought.
No.
Oh my god, bud. Dude. You are fucking moron sometimes. You know that?
You can call me whatever you want, but at the same time,
there's a reason why it's called a content drought. Do you know what a drought is?
Multiple people going in and telling you that it should not have won that category.
Do you know what a drought is?
Yeah, I know what a drought is, but I also know what an ongoing game is.
Do you know what a drought is though?
Yeah.
Do I need to describe what the description of that is? Or no?
Yeah. No. Sure.
A content drought.
I know what a drought is, but at least I know what an ongoing game is.
Thanks all for tuning in to the Patch Notes. And if you enjoyed and want to see more, you can catch us live every Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, or catch us after the fact at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. See you next time.